Right, everybody, welcome along to the Legit Crypto Lounge, the place that brings together real projects with real people. For today's AMA, we're joined by the team behind Creative Minds. In terms of the structure for the next hour or so, we'll find out more about the team in terms of their background and experience, and then we can delve into the details of the project itself and see what sets it apart. And at the end, we'll have a Q&A for the community. So, guys at Creative Minds, before we get into the detail, it'd be great to find out a bit more about you guys in terms of your background, area of expertise, experience in crypto, things like that. So if you want to kick off with that, that'd be great.
Okay, my name is LB. I've been in crypto for 5 years, actually. I started off with the major players. I did that for a while, and then I came across the BSC via Safe Moon. And then I picked up a whole bunch of stuff in the BSC space. Some were not pleasant at all. You know, we all had them, rug, honey. You know, honey's supposed to be sweet, but it's not. It's not sweet.
It's sweet for somebody.
Yeah. And then, you know, I was one of the original core members of Cody, from the ground floor, actually, from the whole idea concept. From there, I resumed my investment part of it. I've been part of a good amount of groups, networking, the usual, but I always wanted something more. But that's pretty much my background for now.
Okay, nice. And you've got with you a few members of your team as well, if you guys want to introduce yourselves as well.
Yeah, hey guys, my name is Fab. I'm from Germany. I personally be a sales manager for over 15 years now, and I lived in several countries. And yeah, LB is one of my longest crypto friends, and we were in like voice chats, private rooms all the time, every day, every night. Like we all spent a lot of time together, and LB came with this idea to say, "Hey guys, what do you guys think about my idea, my vision about crypto? This is the plan." And he was asking us if we can help him out and be part of it. And I said, sure, brother, you are one of my longest crypto friends. I will do whatever you want. So basically now we're here. It's a complete new thing. And I'd be happy to help out LB on whatever he wants and needs.
Awesome. And Jeremy?
Hey guys, I'm Jeremy. Been in crypto about a year and a half or so. Been involved in several projects, still involved in a couple. LB had reached out to have some help on the technical side, so I'm here to help with that. And also, as you guys know, I work closely with Brew Labs, which is going to be the developer for the project on contracts and things of that nature on this one as well.
Nice, thanks, Jeremy. And JC, yeah?
Well, I think Jay-Z just wrote he can't talk. I think he is actually at work, I believe. Yeah. Or he has problems that I'm not sure what the situation right now is.
No worries. That's... Okay. Can you just go through what each of your roles are specifically within this project?
Me is wherever I'm needed. That's
you're the main man making the decisions and telling people what to do, basically.
You know what? We all shoot the shit together, man, every day, like Fab's saying. So we don't really operate that way. It's more like we just talk, you know.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
I think what he's trying to say is, as things come up, you know, we each of us have our strong suits, right? So like JC is good with the graphics and things of that nature, making little videos, things like that. I can help with the technical side. Fab can help out with the marketing outreach and things like that. And then LB is like the idea man in this case. And then there's a couple other people that aren't here at the moment that are also involved.
Okie doke. Good stuff. Right, let's get into the details then. Do you want to give an overview of what you are trying to create?
Yeah, I don't mind. So pretty much the old idea is to create a system that's sustainable, self-sustainable. I didn't want to create another reflection or reward token. I wanted something that the investor themselves could put their money and earn by doing so. And this is where Creative Minds really started. I really, you know what, I started writing it, and then I just couldn't stop. There was just new things I had to put in. You know, there'd be ideas that came up, and I'm like, man, that's great. That would work. So by the time I was finished writing everything, it was like I wrote a fucking essay. You know, you know, they say most people they kind of got the skeleton part of the idea, and they kind of fill in the blanks. You know, for me, the concept was just I had to write in how I wanted it to work, where things would go. Like I wrote in everything, how it would break down, and then of course I spoke to the guys, spoke to Maverick. We had a nice chat, and yeah, everything else got sealed up the way I wanted it to run. Everything was figured out, and you know what? This is gonna be really good. This is gonna be really
I'm glad you've got confidence in your own project. That's a good start. So in terms of utilities, then I'm looking at your website now and stuff. Is the main focus to start off with your staking pools?
Yeah. So there's the standalone, and you got the alternative pool. The standalone pool, what it is, you'll take your CM. So the CM is a utility token. So I don't want to have people waiting months with a token, and there's nothing. That's like one of the worst things you could do to an investor, you know. So so the standalone, it takes 6% in and 6% out. And what it do is a dual pool. So the standalone, you'll stake whatever percent of your CM you want to stake in it. There is locked up periods. There is 30. It says 50, but we'll change that to 90, and then 365. So 1 year. So the whole point of it is it's a variable pool. So 30 days and 90 days, you'll just have lock. You won't be able to harvest. It will compound. So you just have compound, no harvesting. For the 1 year, you'll be able to compound or harvest. So what will happen is you stake your CM. It will give you more. It will pay you out in CM, but not only that, it'll pay you out in BUSD also. So when you compound both, what happened is you earn more CM from the CM you earned already, and that BUSD will then buy more CM and add to your staking amount. So the amount of CM you have will keep increasing as you compound. So
does that within these locks then, does that automatically compound?
So I believe it's a universal compound button. So it's just whoever compounds, it compounds. So just someone has to compound, and yeah, that's it. So what will happen is as you keep on compounding, your stake amount increases, so your payouts increases. So the amount of CM you will receive out the pool will increase. Now you could take that CM, you could bring it to the alternative pool. Now, for the standalone, the 6%, how it's broken down is this. 2% goes right back into the pool in more CM. And then you got 1% that goes into what's called the Treasury in BNB, right? And then you got 1% that goes to a charity wallet. And then 2% goes to the reserve.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. And the Treasury wallet, is that locked?
Yeah. So all that wallet is locked. So it will be a multi-sig lock. So it's not one person. You need multiple signatures in order to gain access. The contract will be locked also with a multi-sig. So everything, the whole idea is to have as much safety or security in place as possible. Where marketing wallet will have a lock. So all of these things is to protect not just the investor but the ecosystem.
Yeah.
All right. So the Treasury, what they'll do is they'll collect BNB, and what will happen? They'll start off once randomly throughout the week, and then it will happen where the buyback will be randomly each day. So what will happen is once there's enough BNB accumulated in that wallet, the Treasury will buy back CM tokens off the market and hold them. So what will happen is the Treasury could also feed the standalone if needs be, which it might. I don't think it will. The way it's set up, the standalone feeds itself. It will also be starting off with a good amount of tokens, right? The standalone is already getting 10% of the total supply, which right there is 2.5 billion tokens will be in that standalone pool. That's a lot of tokens. And it's always feeding itself from the tax in and out plus compound, right? So that system is designed to really feeds itself. Not only that, it also feeds the investors. Then what you have after that is the charity. So the charity wallet is...
Sorry, just going back to the Treasury really quickly.
Go ahead.
You mentioned it would create buybacks and hold. So once it accumulates enough, is that an automatic buyback, or are you doing that manually?
It's manually.
Manually. Okay.
Yeah.
And when you say hold, what's
So the idea is to have that Treasury be, if not the number one holder, but the second holder of CM tokens. Because you have that token, then you could feed it back into that ecosystem, right? You could feed it back to the investors if needs be. You could feed it back to the liquidity.
Yep.
Right. So, but it's good in a way because it raises the floor, right? It raises the price floor of the token. Once you could, So that's the whole thing too, right? It buys it back, it holds it back, it rewards the holders or the investors. The investors in turn could take that token. They could go back to the alternative pools, and they could also earn from there. So it's it's really nice as a holder or investor.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good then. So this charity wallet then, have you got charities in mind that you're looking to support and promote?
Okay, so for that, the charity wallet, what will happen is there'll be 5 vested charities, and there'll be a poll that'll be given to the community. And this is a great way to get the community involved. All the information about the charities will be available, so they could get their chance to actually vet the projects these charities themselves.
That's a nice idea.
Yeah. So once the community votes, the winner will then get a donation. But the idea is to also try to have these charities be able to come on VC or do a video, something that could actually, where they'll get exposure themselves, right? They just have to give a breakdown what the charity's about, what are they hoping to accomplish, what have they accomplished so far, stuff like that.
Yep.
Can I just run through something with you, buddy? So, just a question about the single asset standalone pools. You are paying 6% tax in, right, and 6% tax out.
Yes.
So here it says it includes compounding. So you saying this is is this automatically compounding or manually? Because you can't harvest it, can you? Because the only one that's harvestable is the 365-day lock.
Yes.
So with these, is it just like an auto compound button, right? That taxes you 6% when you compound. Is that correct?
Yeah. So there's a button that you pretty much press, you compound, and that's it.
Okay. Yeah. All right. That answers the question, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks.
Cool. Do you want to on the reserve wallet then?
Okay. So the reserve that gets the 2%. It's a dual wallet. So how the reserve really is, I have the reserve. I kind of think of it as mom and pops, right? That's just it works best for me that way. So mom and pops. Once mom and pops grows, what will happen? Mom and pop will take half of their fortune and give to the kids, and that's where the investment wallet will come in. So really, what the investment wallet will be is the investment wallet will be able to invest in whether it's BTC, Ethereum, whether it's Yield Farm, masternodes. There's multiple stuff that it could actually invest in that will yield return to the investors, to the community itself, right? So what will happen is there will be a dash for this. So, I believe you give the concept, but a lot of people are visual, right? They actually want to see how things are actually working. They want to see for themselves how it's going, how things are actually running. So what will happen is the dash will give the value of the reserve of the investment, right? It'll give you where the stuff is invested. It will pretty much give you a breakdown of what the investment wallet is actually up to, right? So as an investor, you want to know, okay, how much is in the investment wallet? Simple. You go to the dashboard, all the information is there for you. Whether the asset is on Harvey or wherever, that dash will be showing you that.
Yeah, that's nice. A nice way of being open and showing exactly where it is and what it's worth and stuff.
Exactly. Right.
Is that going to be ready to go, LB? Is that going to be ready to go from the start?
Oh yeah. The idea is to push to get the dash and all that, the two pools, all those things going.
Cool.
Yeah, man. So what will happen is whatever earnings that wallet earns, it will split 50-50, where 50% will come back to mom and pop. And mom and pops is supporting the ecosystem in many ways, right? One of that, it is supporting the alternative pools, right?
Yep.
So that's pretty much for the investment side. Because, and I'll get back to that a bit down, a little further down as we continue. But yeah, if you look, you'll see there's the alternative pools, right? So they call them interchangeables. So the interchangeable pools, what will happen is you could take your CM, you could lock your CM. Let's say you lock it for 180 days, right? You lock it for 180 days. There's only a few tokens on the BSC that you actually could compound. BNB is one, and BUSD is the next. So let's say you do 180 days of BNB, straight compounding. Of course, you have the option to harvest, but why would you? You could stake your CM, and you'd be earning BNB, and all you got to do is get that puppy compounding. That's it. And then you have the other pools where you'll be able to earn other assets. Well, you'll also have the lock-in mechanism in there. So, 30, 90, a year. So that's the good thing about these pools. These pools, they're unique because they could be set. So I could set the pools to whichever token. I could set the APY. I could set the time on it. Pretty much everything. So
with the standalone pools, you'll earn your native token, and with the interchangeable ones, you will earn things
other
like
token.
BNB and BUSD.
Or Brew Labs token. It'd be any token, and the good thing about these pools, I could adjust the taxes, because there's some tokens it makes no sense to really be charging people a shitload of funds to really get in, especially if you're paying 15% tax to actually buy the token or so. For you to come over to us and then you got to pay another hefty tax to get that token, I just think it's not fair, right?
So will these pools be? Will you be running multiple pools at the same time then for people to choose from?
It'd be multiple pools. That's the whole idea of it, is to have these pools. You could say they could grow. You could multiply them. That's the sweet thing about it, is these pools you could have a next one, a next one, a next one. You could keep them going, right? The idea, though, is not to rush. I don't believe in having 5 pools right up and running and none of that stuff. It'll be stripes. You want to make sure the investors get the chance to earn as much as possible from the ecosystem and not overstrain the ecosystem at the same time.
Have you got any APYs or APRs in
what was
mind
that, bro?
for either of these pools at the minute?
Okay.
Have you got any? Just what APY are you aiming for?
You know what? In the standalone, it'll most likely be like 50, right? Because at the end of the day, right, that's the native token. That's the token that opens the doors for you. I think once you have a good set amount, 50% is not a bad to start.
Is that on the yearly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, well, it pretty much 50% will pretty much be overall. On the yearly, there's incentives for that. We're slowly working out the numbers for that part. But
okay, it's it'd be interesting to see them, because what we got to remember is we're going to be paying 9% tax to buy the token, and then 6% into the pool. So I'm like really intrigued to see them APYs and what we're going to be hitting with them. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously we paid 6% coming out. So it's just a number that I'll be looking for.
Yeah. And of course, it will definitely be a really good number, especially for the investor, because again, this ecosystem is designed to reward the investors, right? It's not to take away, and then there won't be no point in the ecosystem. Who's going to invest if they can't earn at the end of the day, right? So the APY will reflect that, of course.
Relatively, though, I mean, people look at it like, well, I'm having to pay tax to buy the token, and I'm having to pay tax to go into the pool. But truth be told, that transaction buy-in and going into the pool is 15%, and you see some reward tokens, with that kind of number, sometimes higher. So it's all relative, really, isn't it?
Exactly, and again, those taxes are needed. Look, at the end of the day, if you're looking for anything that's sustainable, that will be able to create returns for its holders or its investors, and also have enough funding to survive, you have to have some means of that, and just depending on volume alone, it's not enough, man. It's not enough. You can't just depend on that. The ecosystem has to feed itself, and once it feeds, it also feeds and rewards the investors, right? And keep in mind, when you say 9%, right, you got to understand that 9%, right, is really feeding the ecosystem too, because out of that you got 2% that's going to marketing, 2 to salary, 1 to liquidity, and 2% go right back to those reward pools, right? And then you got 1% to development, and then 1 to reserve. So again, the reserve is getting fed. And keep in mind too, right? With this, there's only tax you'll see that will need CM is just a standalone pool. Majority of these things you're seeing is mostly in BUSD. The Treasury get BNB, but all those other wallets, they're any CM tokens. So you don't have to sell the tokens on the market to get any marketing funds or anything like that. The idea is to avoid anything like that. If you want sustainability, having to sell your tokens to earn funds is not a way to do that.
Yep.
Right.
So you always need a constant supply, don't you, of new investment though to make it sustainable. It works in the same way as a reflection token, that you constantly need new, more investment to be able to make it work.
Well, you need investors. In everything you do business wise, you need, either you have consumers, whatever it may be, you need investors. Do you constantly need them to come in, like a train of them running in? You know what? Look, once you have enough investors that's in the ecosystem that are earning, they're yielding, they're getting returns on their investment, the ecosystem will be feeding itself off all of those things, from the compounding to the ins and the out to any minor taxes. Those things are going into the reserve. The reserve is designed to support the ecosystem. So, and it's getting fed constantly. So all those rewards funds will then be going to what? The interchangeable pools. It will help the standalone on the BUSD side, but it doesn't need to put any more CM tokens in there. The Treasury is there, right? And don't forget, you got the investment wallet, bro. That investment wallet, once it starts to kick off, what's going to happen? That 50% is coming right back to moms and pops. And moms and pops is what's supporting the ecosystem.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go back to that investment wallet then. So 50%. What do you mean by it goes to mom and pops? It goes.
It's a dual wallet.
Yep.
Right. So one wallet is there with the ecosystem supporting the interchangeable pools, but that wallet is also earning from the standalone, it's earning from the taxes in and out. Right.
Right. Yeah.
So, okay. So that investment wallet, let's say it's on Pancake, It's yielding cake, whatever. It's yielding BUSD somewhere. It's yielding BNB somewhere. What's gonna happen? Those returns will go back into that system and feeds itself. So if I'm yielding BUSD, guess what? That BUSD could go where? Back to moms and pops.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right? So that's what I'm telling you. It will constantly, that's where that investment is for. And don't forget, the whole idea after will be to have our own DEX, right? That's the next thing on our list, is to have our own DEX aggregator. From there, we'll build our own bridges. So,
okay.
So the whole idea is not to have the ecosystem on one platform. It's to have it cross-chain. So the whole picture is you'll be able to have these pools on ETH, Matic, Crow, you name it. That's the end game, really. You'll be able to go cross-chain. Right.
Yep. So like at launch, you're going to have these staking pools ready, and
yes,
your DEX and bridging. When are you looking for those to be implemented?
Those you know what? I'm pushing for the 2 months after.
Okay, pretty quickly then.
Yeah, 2 to 6 months. Like, let's just say 2 to 6 months.
Okay.
I hate giving dates, and then when you don't get to that, I'm not saying we will, but you don't get to that, then you have the community that will twist your words on you and stuff. So let's say 2 to 6 months to be safe.
Okay. Toby, do you have anything from the community or any further questions on the project?
Not really at this point. Princess Sabrina asks, when was the idea born? How long have you been working on it?
Oh, man. The idea was born 2 months. Yeah, 2 months ago.
Perfect.
About 2 months.
Okay, let's get into the tokenomics then. You've already explained about the buy and sell tax. So we've got 9 9 to buy, 12 to sell.
Yeah.
And you've given us those breakdowns. So let's look at the
allocations.
The allocation, yeah. Do you want to run us through that?
Yeah. So the allocation, 30% is going to Presale, and that's 7.5 billion tokens will be going to Presale. 8.25% will go to private, and that's pretty much 2 billion tokens. Then you got 21% will go to Pancake, and that's 5.250 billion tokens. And then you got 2% for the team. It's again, it's not a lot, It's only 500 million tokens. And then you got
vested. What's the vesting on that?
The vesting on that, we're again, it's not going to be it's not a lot of tokens. So most likely we will have a certain percent that will be allocated out of that, and then from there the vesting period will be a month, once a month, twice a month. It won't be no day every day thing, sort of vesting. We don't need that. So
you're looking to have a certain amount unlocked at launch, and then you're looking at weekly unlockings.
Not weekly. It'll be more like monthly. And of course, with that stuff, the community will know. Of course, everything will be open. It will all be there. It's going to be transparent. And one thing about BSC, of course, everything is trackable, man. Yeah, and that's where the whole dash and stuff comes in, right? So like I said, for that it'll be vested. It's not going to be short vesting, and plus, to be honest, that's only 500 million tokens, that the team gets. So, and that's, to be honest, that's a good number. It's not a big bag of, it's.
Yeah, listen, on this point, we kind of had a chat to you when you first came to us with this idea, didn't you? And, give you credit where it was due, because we said it was quite large, and you took that feedback on board and you changed it. So it's good to see that.
Well, yeah. I remember, and I was telling you, I'm like, you know what? The idea is not to rob folks. Is to give people, even the smallest guy, the opportunity to come somewhere where they could earn. Their funds is there. You could see everything for yourself. You know what's going on. You don't have to take my word for it. It's all there. You want any answer, you go into the dash. It'd be there. Yeah, and then you got 10% to the standalone. I think I covered that. That was 2.5 billion. And then you got 12% for DEX wise, and then that's 3 billion, and that's locked. That'll be locked. And then you got 5% for any centralized exchange, which that's just 1.250 billion tokens, which will be locked.
And then we got any centralized exchanges in mind that you'd be looking to allocate that towards?
Not. You know what? I at this point, man, I think those are things that it's just waste of my brain space to be thinking about. So no, I haven't given that a thought. I just wanted to know that I had something allocated just for that. Right. And then you got 1%, that's for community giveaways and stuff like that, right? And that is 250 million tokens. And then you got 2.75% for Brew Labs, which is what, 687 million. Let's leave it at that. That's for Brew Labs. So that means we'll have like a pool on Brew Labs. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Brew Labs.
We have been made aware of them more recently, and a lot of people are starting to use them and stuff. So this 2.5% isn't their allocation, as in they can't just sell your tokens.
No, it's just for the pools. They have a few, and that again, it's just they have a nice big community, and they get a lot of traffic through that to their DApp, their staking dApps. So it's just more exposure, also, right?
Yeah. So it's their pool, is it? And their community can earn your token.
There
is
you
that
go.
how that works?
Yeah. And then you got 8% that goes to the Treasury, which is 2 billion tokens will be in the Treasury already.
Cool. Okay. And the 1% giveaways, is that, are you going to be doing things like, giveaways in your TJ? Have you thought about what you're going to do? How you're going to do that?
With that stuff, you know what? We'll come up with different ways to give back to the community with that. As to what, it could be anything from getting the community to things to get us out there, help us spread, where there's contest, stuff like that. Even simple games, stuff like, anything that get the community involved is pretty much what that's for.
Okay, sounds good. And then, so where we are right now, are you in the private sale phase?
Yeah. So private sale. We're in the private sale because again, we're looking for like good peeps, good investors, serious investors for that, but the private sale is open. And for the pre-sale, how we have it is the first, I guess, 800 actual active members will be eligible for a whitelist spot.
Okay, let's go back to private then, and we'll look at pre-sale in a minute. So,
Yeah.
Can you just give us the details? How much you're looking to raise, what you've raised so far, all those types of things.
So that pretty much just started, really. And we have raised, I believe, 6 or so beans, I believe. We're looking to raise 250 beans.
250 BNB, yeah. And will there be a discount?
Yeah, so private sale get 8% more. Pre-sale and launch price is the same.
Okay, yeah. And what are those funds going to be used towards, this 250 BNB?
So that'll be going towards getting the contract going, getting more marketing, and whatever is remaining will go to the ecosystem.
Okay.
When you say ecosystem, do you mean everything like liquidity into
There you go.
staking pools? Okay, yeah. All right.
Just like the pre-sale, right? 75% will go straight into the ecosystem.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the whole point, is to get enough capital to get that ecosystem pumping. And once it gets going, then it will start to feed itself from the taxes in and out, from the buys, the sells. Yeah.
And the private sale, is that whitelisted, or is it open to anybody? Can anybody purchase now from you?
And anyone could really buy the private. It's on a multi-sig wallet also. So, and it's on the BSC, so you could, again, everything is transparent, man. You want to see it, you could go ahead and look at the BSC. It's open.
Yeah.
Right.
So looking at pre-sale then, what are the figures for that? How much are you raising?
So pre-sale, we're going for 1,000 BNB.
And what's the minimum max contribution?
So minimum. So let's go with private. So minimum and max for private is 1 and 5.
Yeah.
The minimum for pre-sale and max is 0.2 and 3. Again, 0.2 because even the little guy, like I said, not a lot of peeps is gonna have a full BNB to toss in, right? So I wanted it to be reasonably enough where you have a 0.2, you could take a chance and go in. Oh, by the way, that the brain lights up, man. Like
Oh, nice.
Right, and the next one at the bottom, you can move it. Yeah.
How realistic do you feel these numbers are right now with the market the way it is? Like 250 private, 1,000 pre-sale. You think that's really achievable? Do you think you're going to have to go hard? What's your thinking?
I you know what, for the ecosystem, I believe it's achievable. I believe it's achievable. And again, look, the private does not fully sell out. What's going to happen? Well, the tokens will go to where? In fact, it will go to the Treasury. So
yeah, but then you're faced with the issue: if the private doesn't sell out, then you're not going to have enough marketing funds to reach that 1,000 BNB for the pre-sale. So would you consider lowering that if that was the case, or are these figures set in stone? This is what you want to get?
No. Look. At the end of the day, like the 250 would be great to hit. If not, look, we hit 100, we hit 150. you know what, the contract, marketing, and the remainder will be able to go at least into the pool. From the pre-sale, again, that'll be a good chunk of funds still going into the ecosystem. And again, I'm not gonna be rushing. You know, at the end of the day, this is something that I believe in. 1,000 man, whatever the highest number I could go. You know, you know, I believe in it. It is something that I see that's sustainable. It's something that once our DEX is implemented, will give our investors, it will be a one-stop shop. You don't have to go anywhere to swap or sell. And we all know a DEX gives you back micro fees. And guess what? That micro fees is going to the Treasury. Again, it's coming right back over to the ecosystem. Right? So, and once we be able to have enough liquidity, whether it's on ETH, then we'll be able to peg our CM tokens cross-chain. And then having our own bridge is something that we definitely want. That way we'll be able to bridge across. You could be able to just go to the DEX, all on the same site, and you'll be able to bridge to Matic, Crow, ETH, Aave, wherever you want to go. Right?
Yeah.
That's what everybody wants. Me personally, I love to be able to go to one ecosystem, and I'll be able to say, hey, you know what? I got some BNB or I got some BUSD from here as a reward. You know what? I love to go to Crow to get something. You don't have to go far. You're already here. You know, you could go to that ecosystem. Hey, you want to do some staking over there? Sure. We have pools there. You know, you want to do some staking over on the ETH chain? Hey, there you go. You have some pools over there. And eventually those pools will have ERC20 tokens that you could now go over there and earn. Right? So as the ecosystem grows, what's going to happen? Then now you have tokens, not just on BSC, but now you have Ethereum. And what will happen? We'll have a wallet over there. And what would that wallet be doing? It'll be collecting Ethereum in taxes. And what's going to happen? It will bring back half of those wallets will come right back down to the ecosystem. So
there's big plans. I can see big plans. Like I see your big vision.
Yeah. So that way you're keeping your ecosystem sustainable by holding other assets, right? By holding other assets, it's like pretty much you're invested in another token, really. You know, you invested in ETH. By doing so, the ecosystem benefits and the investor benefits from it. So it's all. That's why I told you I'm looking. The whole idea was to get into an ecosystem that is sustainable, is self-sustainable, where it will have enough equity that it could feed itself. Because again, you brought up volume, right? You can't really leave everything up to volume. You need to have that ecosystem well fed that it could stand on its own feet.
Yeah, I can I can see that, and I guess it's trying to work out how much this investment wallet is going to be able to bring back into the ecosystem to make it sustainable without the new investment coming in and the new volume that creates those taxes.
Well, yeah, but you know, you got yield farms out there, man. You got yield. There's tokens that you could go into. You have herein finance. There's so many great ecosystem out there that people are yielding a good return from. But instead of that being a personal, you have a whole ecosystem earning. You have a whole community earning. Right? You have stuff like masternodes that's yielding great returns. You got Pancake. You got so many great projects. Just accumulating even BTC is great, because why? You accumulate these tokens, and what will happen? At certain points, you could yield returns from them, right? The good thing about crypto that I love is things go up, they go down, but when they go up real good, everybody is real good. You know what I mean? That's just it.
I guess the issue is when it's good, it's really good. When it's bad, it's really bad, isn't it?
When it's good, it feeds. When it's good, it feeds.
yeah.
So when it's bad, it doesn't starve. That's why it's good to have these wallets like the Reserve and such, because, like I said, when it's feeding, it's a happy wallet. It's a happy freaking wallet, and everybody earns. So even when the market is slumming, and that's one of the other reasons to actually be on all these other platforms, because no matter how the crypto market plays out, you could earn on a down or up. No matter how the market plays out, is really how you're set yourself.
Yeah.
People are always earning in crypto, man. Even when we're crying and saying, "Fuck, I can't believe this bullshit red," and there's fucking people earning.
There is always people earning from it, for sure. So how does it get decided what gets invested? Is that going to be like down to a community vote? Is it you that personally decides?
So the idea is to have a portion of it, community based, and a portion of it will be decided amongst the group.
Yeah.
And of course, the community, like I said, the dash is there. So whatever it's invested in, the dash will display it for the community.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
But we know how it is. I don't believe of having it all the way up to the community when it comes to that. Then it's gonna be too much. It's gonna be too much. It's just man. It's just gonna be too. I think having the community participate in it, yes, of course. It's their investment too. Your money's in it. It's your investment too. So you have to have a say in it. And of course there'll be a poll, and then people could vote. We'll do some picks, and then the community will vote.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. It's always good to involve the community, isn't it? I guess the community doesn't always make the right decision, but then you're all in it together, then, aren't you? As well.
There you go. Because I don't want to have the community say, well, you guys involve us in it, and it's your fault, and no. At the end of the day, we'll have a vote. We'll have the poll. The community could vote. What do you guys think? It's vested. It's well researched. And again, when I say it's an investment wallet, don't think it's like meme coin chasing wallet. Like, get that out of here. If anyone thinks that way, that's not what it is. It's not gonna be on the BSC, seeing if we catch a Inu, the latest Inu coin. It's not gonna be that type of wallet. Again, the dashboard will be there to display every single detail, the balance of the wallet, where it's at. So everybody will be able to keep track of these things.
Yep. Okay, cool. Yep, makes sense. So let's just on going back to Presale, what platform are you looking to use?
Um, man, I have. I'm. It's like in between. I said pink sale, but you know, pink sale have this 2%. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't. That don't sit well with me, really. To have them. Oh crap! Hold on. Oh, I have to plug this in. Give me a sec. um. Okay. Um. Quick sec. Okay,
You back?
I'm back. Yeah. So you're
So it's to
saying
be decided,
for
basically.
yeah. Which one? Sorry, bro. Could you ask me again? I was
Yeah,
busy.
yeah. I was just going to say on the pre-sale and stuff, you've mentioned about pink sale, but you're not sure because of the 2%. So at the
Yeah.
moment, it's not decided.
No, it hasn't. We haven't really decided on that because, like I said, I've seen these guys. You know, they get their 2% and they dump it on the chart, and that don't sit well with me. You know, that the thing is, even if we do go with them, the idea will be to buy the tokens back before launch. So before the button is pushed, you know, hey, we want those tokens back. You know, so that would be the gist of that. As long as we'll be able to get those back, then yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the only way around it, isn't it? Realistically,
That's
you need to get them tokens back.
Exactly. Without that, then no, it won't be no pink sale.
No.
No.
Okay. So before we open up to a Q&A, so looking at launch, have you got like a date in mind that you'd like to launch?
Man, no. I say the month of May. You know, that's what I'm aiming for is within May because of course, like I said, the private you need that fund to also get those things rolling, right? So
Yeah.
I'm aiming for May.
Okie doke. And you said, was it Brew Labs that are doing the contract for you?
Yeah, Brew Labs will be building the contracts.
Yeah. Okay. And what audits are you going to have in place? LB?
Darn phone. I'll be pushing for a KYC and an audit.
And who are you using for that?
We're still debating on which audit company would be good for that.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're still debating on the audit company, but it's we're not aiming for nothing crappy, man. We want something that's really good. I know Brew Labs does do their own audit, but of course, conflict of interest. We can't have them auditing the contract they're building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's definitely wise to make that, to keep those separate. So
exactly.
From an investing's point of view, right now, looking to invest in your private sale and stuff, you're not actually KYC'd at the moment, are you?
I'm not KYC'd at the moment, no. But like I said, I'm in the space. A lot of people know me. I'm not into any bull crap. Like even like doxing and stuff. I told people, you know, they bring it up, and I said, look, I have no problem doing that. This is not a problem for me. You know, am I Russian? You know, who would? You know, who's really Russian? Well, look, I don't care, right? For me, I would do it if the community is. I don't know, you know. I don't. If they don't trust, then sure, I have no problem with that. You know.
Yeah, I guess it just adds that level of credibility, doesn't it, and trust from everybody, because people, the way you've described it and stuff, you sound trustworthy, but there's a lot of people in this space that sound trustworthy, and people are looking to invest like right now, probably want that level of reinsurance.
Yeah, like I said, I have no problem doxing, bro. It's not a problem for me.
Okay, cool. Toby, you got anything to add?
No, I don't think so, man. It was a good Q&A, and I think we should just leave some time for some questions. If we've got them while we do the giveaway, yeah?
Yep, sure. So just before we go into the Q&A, LB, I'll just ask the famous legit crypto question, if that's all right with you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so for us, long-term success can't exist without a clear vision from you guys. So at what point does this project become a success to you?
Once I have my decks, once I'm cross-chain, and I could hear the investors saying, you know what, thanks, man, you created a great ecosystem, and I'm earning.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good point to get to. People actually thanking you for
exactly.
Money.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice one. Well, I'll stop the recording there, and then we'll get into a Q&A. But obviously, thanks a lot for joining us today for the AMA and sharing your project with us. And good luck with the ongoing success.
Thanks, man. Thank you, and thanks for having me, bro.